Hello and welcome to my February CEO memo. You might notice a slightly different background to the one that you will have seen in the past, and that is because I am now homeless. Well, at least officeless. Since the beginning of the year, our commercial director, Steffi Chen, a wonderful individual, has taken over my office, and that's because we're growing, and that means that there really isn't enough space for me. So I'm in my bedroom tonight recording this. Memo because downstairs just doesn't have the same allure and this lovely background that I have. 10 points to anyone who can figure out where I am. They actually don't do that. Stalkers are crazy and the like, and I don't want that. But anyway, I digress. So much happened in February. It is incredible that all of it could have impacted into just the 1 month. The big ticket items really, we became a Google Premier Partner again for the umpteenth time. Yay, how good is that? I went to a Google event last Tuesday, and at it, they had a number of discussion points. The key one was really around Looker. Now, we've already signed that contract. I have already seen some of the correspondence. So our Looker's already set up. About 25% of our clients have had their server-side tagging set up already, which means they have first-party cookies. It means that all of their analytics, ad data, their metadata, their Google My Business data, their Search Console data is all synced into a cloud account, which means that we're able to connect that directly to Looker and start giving AI insights pretty much straight away. So it'll probably take us another couple of weeks into the end of March, I would suggest, before we're really in a place to be able to go to those clients. If you haven't had server-side tagging set up, into April, we'll be contacting clients and saying, hey, would you like to implement this? Look, the way Google was describing it, and we already made the decision to go with it. And what a crazily stupid name, and I won't get into the reasons why it's called Looker. Looker Studio, all of you will have a Looker Studio account, or certainly all of our clients will already have a Looker Studio dashboard. This is not Looker Studio, this is Looker. It is a visualization tool, but it's so much more. It is taking your data and running AI models over it to really make a lot more sense of what is going on for your customer base, to create audience lists that can be sent directly to your ad accounts and to Meta. So it's not just Google Ads, it's also to Meta. And that will obviously increase sales. I'll put a little graphic in the email that we send out for a retail, it's called business case, which I think is about 45% growth in retail sales. That's the kind of result that we're looking for by implementing Looker. And so we will continue to have these conversations with you over the coming months to see how it would implement, how it can be implemented for you and where the value stream lies. So that was one of the things that they talked to us about. They talked to us kind of weird. They were talking about how New Zealand, specifically because it was a New Zealand-based agency conversation, as an exporter, should really be looking to export a lot more. Look, a lot of our clients aren't exporters. We deal with predominantly domestic businesses. I mean, we ourselves, I guess, are an exporter because we work with Australian businesses and we work with American business as well to a lesser degree, and people in Europe and all over the world. But predominantly, domestic Australasian work is what we are doing. So I don't know that really gelled too well. They were talking about YouTube. So lots of things going on within that Google ecosystem. We had our best month ever last month. We have employed 5 new people into the business over the last 2 months, and I think we need to employ one further person to round out the company. Just a quick note. Most of you will not know this, but I will be taking a sabbatical from the end of May until the end of September. And that really is because for the last 16 years, I have been in the trenches with Web Wonks. When I went to America for an extended period of time a couple of years ago, sales and leadership were the 2 areas that needed to be worked on. And over the last couple of years, I have absolutely done that. If you're a listener of this memo regularly, you'll know that Andrew Waterhouse was promoted to the sales director. He has a full sales team, and our management team and our board are super strong. In fact, I'm currently really only doing 2 days a week at Web Wonks to kind of graduate it down. I'll still be in the background to sit at the board meetings and know what's going on with what's happening in the business, but I won't be there day to day. And that's really the stability of the company, right? It can stand on its own 2 feet. But That old saying, the idle hands of the devil's work. That's the saying. Um, what am I going to do? Everyone asks me, what am I going to do? Well, first thing I'm going to hope for in the first couple of weeks is okay, the company is going to run, and I'm going to have like a grieving process to a degree, I imagine. Like it's going to be hard not to open Teams or open my email and want to engage. But it's good for me to step away and come back with renewed vigor and also build out our next franchise, which will be in Australia. So looking at doing that over that period of time, spending more time with my family, and just debooting a wee bit. And look, I'm almost to the point where it's super energizing. I'm really happy with where the business is at, and I want to stay engaged and involved. But the decision was made some time ago that this would be the right thing to do, and I think that it is the right thing to do. So that's super exciting. Two last things that I'm going to talk about tonight. Will be tonight, today. I did actually record this video this morning, but it connected to my wife's headphones several times, and the audio cut out. And also the light. It was like this is focused east, and so it was super bright and made for the video to be washed out, and I didn't look anywhere near as handsome as I do now. Um, so AI, yes, I talk about Looker. Yes, we've implemented automation in our own business over the last 12 months. I have been reading and watching a lot about what's happening with some of these advances in AI agents. And it's kind of scary. It's scary because it is going to take away a lot of jobs. And the mandate that I have had with my staff for some time now has been about keeping human jobs. I think that it's a discussion that we all need to have. It's going to impact our society massively. It's going to impact your business massively because it will bring profitability, right? If you can implement AI agents that can do work for you and it doesn't call in sick and it doesn't need a pay rise and it doesn't cost anywhere near what a salary costs and it can do the job better than collectively all of your staff do, kind of hard not to think that you're going to want to use it, right? So this is happening like Claude through Anthropic. They, in this last week, have begun to really showcase consumer-led agents. Yesterday, I saw that there was some, and I might put a link in the EDM that we send out for educational like content. So I've got a little bit of coding knowledge. How can you be using Claude to develop these AI agents for your own business? In fact, I have been doing a lot of swimming at my gym, and there are two young guys there, about 19, 20, and they've both said to me at various times what I do, and I told them about Web Wonks, and they said, "Well, what would be your suggestion for a young guy starting out?" And I said, "Well, if you have the desire and the opportunity to start a business, that's what I did. If you're not so inclined to do that, then perhaps you could be looking at doing some coding. You could be looking at using Google Cloud. You could be looking at using Anthropic. There's a whole variety of free courses that you could be doing. If you've got young kids, then I definitely think you should be encouraging them to get into this because it is going to impact things. So feel free to get in touch with me. More than happy to have a conversation about how we are going to deploy AI agents in a way that blends both the human and the advances that are coming, what we already are doing with Looker, what we've done with automation, what we've done with Microsoft. We basically are running two parallel stacks, one with Microsoft and one with Google. So we've got quite a lot going on there. So that's really interesting. I'm on Martin Devlin's podcast, so I might include some of those in the email. Go to the DSPN, DPSN, DSPN, Devlin Sports Podcast Network, DSPN. I was on that for the third time today. That's quite interesting. It actually takes a lot of time to research that from a refereeing perspective. So yeah, got a little bit of feedback last week, some heat, if you will. Don't normally get too many people watching these CEO memos, let alone commenting. So very different exercise. It's been a very interesting experience. So very robust commentary on that. So that's really exciting. Final thing is on the metrics. I obviously don't have another computer where I can share my screen in this conversation. So um, it'll be included in the email. I believe there's been a slight decline month on month for revenue. I don't have the lead generation numbers for you, unfortunately. Sorry. What I will say is that one of our first, well, there's four deployments that we're going to have for Looker. The first is the standard, which is what we've already implemented for our clients who have server-side tagging, right? So five data sources: ads, analytics, Search Console, Google My Business, and Meta. It's a bit shaky, that camera. Anyway, five. Then we'll have retail, so you can start pulling in Shopify, you can start pulling in point of sale. Then we'll have corporate, that might be for larger businesses who have other data streams that they want to bring in. And then there'll be internal. And internal will be about how we can better report our own internal sales metrics, overdue tasks, a whole variety of things. But one of them will also be how can we get better market insights to you? Because over the last 12 to 18 months, some of the ways of us capturing that data has been changed by Google and it's not the full picture. And I want to be able to give you the most relevant and up-to-date information so that you can make decisions about what's happening for your business against other industry players or against the market for both New Zealand and Australia. So for the current metrics, they'll be in the email. Look, thanks for watching. Thank you for putting up with my new location. Like I said, I had to change the camera. I had to play around with the microphone. My hair's all a muss. I'm looking a little bit basic, but it's the content that you came for. I hope you had a fantastic February. On we go into March, one more month of the financial year for the most of us, for most of us. And yeah, can you believe it? We're almost a third of the way through 2026, and it is shaping up to be the cracker that I was talking about all last year. It's going to be awesome. Thanks, and I'll see you next month.